Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Halloween. Woo! We came up with a category here: most horrifying, gruesome, cringeworthy deaths on film. And we have 10 different ones. Each has their own opinion. We're going to rank them 10 through 1. Just something we've been talking about and see where we all match up. Not the most light of subjects, but late October, spooky stuff. We're each going to just do a little thumbnail sketch on the movies that we have or the scenes where somebody dies a unforgettable, horrifying death. So I'm going to start it off. Tonight's order will be me, Doc, and Brian. Number 10 is an old school classic from 1960, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho with Janet Leigh in the shower. You don't see a lot, but you see enough to scare the bejesus out of you. Hitchcock style. It's not a way anybody wants to go. And then you got her eyeball at the end with the blood running down the drain. It's just a pretty gruesome, unforgettable scene. And people weren't taking showers back in the early 60s because of it. Anthony Perkins made a name for himself as a psychotic, and the rest is history. So that's going to be my number 10 is Psycho. Doc.
It's a good pick, Rich.
Thank you.
Mine is a little different, I guess, at number 10. I'll just start off getting this out. Listen, I'm not a Steven Seagal guy or anything else like this. And if I was to say he made one good movie, it would probably be Under Siege.
Yes.
So, and Tommy Lee Jones is in there, and the finale scene is the good guy, bad guy confrontation or whatever. They have a knife fight that goes on for like 2 minutes long or whatever during this final scene, man. And the way Seagal takes out Tommy Lee at the end of this, the old thumb in the eye, knife in the head, and head through the console of the ship before he just wants to blow up friggin' Hawaii.
Yeah.
It's a top 10er on ways to go, man, in a movie, man. So I'm dropping that one in there as a starter for my number 10.
I love it. So we have 2 knives so far. Brian, you sticking with the knives or are you going elsewhere?
Mine's like completely different here then, guys. I got from the movie from in the 1990s, there's some really campy horror films that came out that seemed to be doing a dime a dozen, and this one was Deep Rising.
Oh yeah.
And it had a vast array of characters, but there was one character who's not been in anything majorly noticeable. The actor's name was Clint Curtis. He played a character called Mason, who gets taken by this giant octopus at the beginning of it, and you don't see him again until later when like the octopus basically regurgitates him up again, and you can see that he's being eaten slowly alive.
Oh,
and then at least one of the characters had the wherewithal to go ahead and put the guy out of his misery. But it was just like seeing a man half eaten who was still well aware that that's exactly what was happening to him. I was like, this is just absolutely over the top.
Wow.
Yeah, I would definitely not want to go that way. So that was my number 10. Deep
That's
Rising.
a new one for me. I've never seen that or heard of that, but interesting.
I know
it's
the
a
movie.
gore fest. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. All right, cool. Number 9. Now this might seem like a subtle death, but it was graphic enough for me to say, I don't want to go that way. That was American History X, the curb stomp.
Oh, my.
Remember, he lines him up on the curb and sort of stomps on his head and just sort of separates. Really nasty.
Yeah.
Vicious.
That was it was unforgettable. That's why I wanted to put it here, because it was a one of a kind for me. I've never seen it again. Maybe I have seen it again. Was it in one of the Sopranos episodes? I think Tony did it to somebody. But anyway, that's my number 9. American History X. Vicious.
That's a good one, Rich. My number 9 is from Casino. Joe Pesci and his brother, Nicky, they're trying to take over, just exposing too much in Vegas. And De Niro, they thought they were going to blow up De Niro. Oh, man, it ever backfire. But
oh my God,
you never want to go into a cornfield and come out the way that those guys. They didn't come out. I'll put it that way, man. Baseball bats galore on how to handle business and mob style in Vegas, man. Beaten to death with a bat.
And graphic.
Pretty close to as vicious as you can get.
The ambient sound of the thuds of each one of those bats.
The first one. when he's yelling for his brother.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Make him watch first his brother get taken down, then he gets it. Yeah, I mean, that's vicious, man.
Okay. Number 9 for me, I've got from the Green Mile, I've got Edward Delacroix's death, which poor Del is, really a gentle inmate. And we're not really entirely 1000% sure, by the movie anyway, why Del went to prison. And but his death is just absolutely cruel when one of the guards intentionally does not wet down the sponge and so that there would be conduction of electricity during his electrocution, and the result is a total botchery of the whole sequence, and Dell's body catches on fire and there's smoke pouring out of his eyes, and you can almost smell what the stench must have been like in that room while he was sitting there on fire, and the people's reaction to it that are in the gallery having to watch that. I'm like, that was a brutal death on screen. Brutal death. So
I have to admit, you guys both have the last 2 picks you made are both on my list. Matter of fact, number 8, I also have Casino in the cornfield with the baseball bats, pleading for their lives, just get ambushed and almost, I guess, buried alive. It seemed like they were still groaning with blood running down their face.
Barely hanging on.
Out in the desert, they're digging a hole and all that stuff. Just an unforgettable scene. So that's my number 8, Doc. We almost hit right on the money with that.
Almost. So my number 8 was one you had earlier, Rich. I got Psycho in the shower scene, man. Like you said, it's almost like you don't see it. But let's get right down to it, man. That's as vicious as it can get for not showing something almost in one sense. Like,
I think
you really see it in it's a nonstop throttle, man, of that knife going back and forth.
And the music to go with it.
Oh, the creepy. You're into it, man.
That's just as part of it as effective as anything. Is the music.
Yeah. You want to talk about a cringeworthy death, man? That's right there, man. That's viciously brutal, man, when you get down to it.
Right.
Yep.
Well, it didn't take long for us to get a trifecta because at number 8, I've got Psycho here. It just seemed obvious to me, and I think it's because there's the general vulnerability that you already feel when you're nude, and then you compound that when you're in the shower a little bit because the water's running, you can't really hear everything, you can't necessarily see anything with drapes drawn and stuff, and then to have someone attack you while you're in the shower. I can't imagine a more horrific, feeling of fear that you would actually have in that instance where there's no way to defend yourself. There's nowhere to run. So I had to have it here, and I'm glad that we all had it. I'm glad that we already agreed on something here right early on. So Psycho is on my list at number 8.
Yeah, no doubt about it. My number 7 might be a little controversial given the subject matter, but I'm going with the Passion of the Christ, the crucifixion scene, the whipping, the nails driven in, just everything about that scene was so graphic. I only saw it once in the theater, and it was more than I could withstand. It was, and I'm not a religious person, but it really hit me hard. It really did. The way Mel Gibson directed it, the way he presented it, was just so realistic that I have a hard time leaving it off my list. So that's my number 7.
Wow. Good one. Good one.
My number 7 probably doesn't need too much explaining, but it's Kane, John Hurt, an alien. An alien popping out of your body in space. Not on my bucket list of ways I want to go. And it's pretty straightforward, man. It's his
classic.
Awful way to die. I mean, to get right down to it, an alien popping out of your gut while you're on the table, man. And
right.
Pretty straightforward for a sci-fi horror kind of flick, man. Maybe in one sense, but that's self-explanatory in some senses to me, man. That makes my list.
Great one.
Number 7 for me, I've got from the remake of It, Chapter 1, Georgie Dimbro, played by Jackson Robert Smith. It's the little boy right at the beginning, basically almost the mulligan of the movie, right where he's attacked by Pennywise the clown. right off the bat. I mean, and this time more than the TV movie, the initial strike is, it bites the little kid's arm off right away, and we see everything. And it's this little kid's just crawling away from the sewer, as fast as he can go, and you just know he's doomed. There's no way he can get away from, some type of supernatural being that it is. And to see him dragged back into the sewer was just horrific. I just say you have a hard time watching kids get hurt, and to watch something as over the top as that was pretty hard to watch. So
I don't think I could stomach that one. That sounds really intense.
It was pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 6 for me. This is the movie Seven, David Fincher's Seven.
Yeah.
7 Deadly Sins. And I picked the scene where the emaciated person's tied to the bed and starving, and it's just a bag of bones, basically. And then he blinks or he's alive.
Yeah.
It's a terrible way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the one that stuck out to me. And there's a lot of horrible ways to go in that movie, but that's just one of them. So you can throw in there too if you want, but that's the one I'm leaning towards at number 6.
My number 6, I go back to a classic movie in some senses for me. I love the movie anyway, but I'm going to The Omen. Father Brennan has just told Robert Thorne, Gregory Peck, that his son is the Antichrist on a park bench. And meanwhile, he tells him he's crazy, and Thorne takes off or whatever. And then it's like a whirlwind of like all supernatural shit happening all at the same time. And the windstorm, lightning's going off everywhere like this. And the priest knows that, all right, man, something's going on here or whatever. He tries to break into the church, and the church doors won't open. He's shaking away. And meanwhile, as it's all happening, the lightning rod falls off the top of the church and goes right through him, spikes him right into the ground. Man.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I've seen that. Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe not death in movies, man, but I mean, it's, again, not the way you want to go.
No, it's not.
Good pick. I didn't see that one coming, but that's a good pick.
Number 6 has already been covered. I've got Joe Pesci's character, Nicky Santoro, getting beat to death. With some baseball bats along with his brother, and like you guys said, I mean, just the thuds that are constantly hitting him and his brother and whacking, and you can still hear this wheezing sound when they're thrown in the ditch where they're still breathing.
Yes.
And that's just a horrific way to go, to suffocate in dirt while you're in excruciating pain. Out in the middle of a cornfield in the middle of a desert where no one's ever going to find you. Just a brutal scene. So I had to definitely include it in my top 10 for sure.
Very good. So that's the second one all three of us have had.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
All right, my number 5 is one that Doc had earlier, and that's Alien. John Hurt with the alien busting through. Remember the first time I saw it, I couldn't believe. I never saw anything like it before. It's such a surprise. And I guess watching it now, second, third, fourth time, it's not as effective, but the teeth coming out, just everybody at the table back and whoa, just an amazing Ridley Scott special, baby. That was one of the best. So that's my number 5, Alien.
There you go.
My number 5, I think I don't know if we knew it was coming or didn't know it was coming, but I got Robert Shaw in Jaws, man. That's, I mean, that's, again, that's as graphic as you can get, eaten alive by a shark, man. I think that's self-explanatory. It's Jaws, it's Robert Shaw, and you're watching it on screen, the blood splattering everywhere, and him spitting up the blood and everything else, and the boat's going down, and he's going down first. So Robert Shaw's death is kind of an iconic death in movies in one sense. So.
Okay.
That's
awesome pick.
All right. For me, we're at number 5.
Yeah.
I've got from the original Wicker Man from 1973. Character was Sergeant Neil Howie, played by Edward Woodward. The devoutly Christian police sergeant is lured into this pagan ritual trap. Powerless to escape, he's locked in this massive wicker, like effigy, and then it's set ablaze, and all you hear is like his desperate prayers and hymns are like being drowned out by this joyous, singing of the townspeople as they're basically sacrificing him to some paganistic god. I can't imagine a more horrible way to go than to be burned alive. So I had to include The Wicker Man.
Nice. Now my number 4. It's a movie that not a lot of people have seen. I think at least one, maybe two of you guys have seen it. That's Irreversible.
I've seen it.
The head smashed in with the fire extinguisher early on, and we don't know where it's coming from. And then the story's told backwards, and then they lead you back to I don't know if I should give it away, but the reasoning for the viciousness and the graphic nature of this. I don't know whether they had to have used a head model, obviously, but they actually caved this thing in. So realistic, so haunting to this day. It's another movie I can only watch once. I don't want to see it again, but it stuck with me over the years. Irreversible, directed by Gaspar Noé. I guess he's a German director, but really frightening stuff. So that's my number 4.
My number 4 was, I had to do like a coin toss here because I didn't want to flood this with all like one thing or anything else like that. But I knew I had to have a Quentin in here somewhere just because there's so many great deaths in this movie sometimes. So I just stuck with it, man. Sadie's death in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, just over the top, man. I don't know what to say. You know, she's taking the can in the face already. Yeah. She gets knifed by runs through the glass window, out through the sliding door, into the pool, and then DiCaprio comes out and starts flames throwing her in the pool. See, again, not the way you want to go, but a classic death, man, in the scenes of movies, man.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Unforgettable in some senses.
It is.
Yeah.
It just caps off that movie beautifully.
Oh, totally, man. Completely over the top. But in every great way is fantastically over the top.
Yeah.
My number 4 is, you don't even see it happen, but the very fact that the premise had been set earlier in the film about what happens to somebody when this happens, it just kind of sets the tone. It's from The Mummy from 1999. Kevin O'Connor's character, Benny Gabor, he's like this total low-life guy that's backstabbing people throughout. And then like right at the end, when they're all escaping the temple and temple's coming down and all the big columns are like sealing up, he makes this greedy mistake and he tries to stay behind to grab more treasure and stuff. And he gets caught in this room. And earlier in the movie, you see these flesh-eating scarabs that are like constantly going around the temple. And as his torch is fading out, and the scarabs can get closer and closer because there's no fire to scare him off. And once it goes totally black, all you can hear is him screaming. That you just realize he's just getting eaten alive by these scarabs in total darkness. It was just wild. But at the same time, you're going, hey, this guy kind of deserved it. You know, it was a total lowlife. Right. But at the same time, you really wouldn't want to wish that on anybody. That was just terrible.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's what I have, The Mummy.
That fits in perfectly with our Halloween.
Perfect is right.
Right.
My number 3 from Scarface, the chainsaw in the shower scene.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, that's probably way down on my list of ways to go. I mean, and it's so. Who directed this? De Palma.
De Palma.
Yeah, Brian De Palma.
That chainsaw. You can see the blood splashing on the shower and the screaming, and it's just unbelievable. And it had to be near the top of my list, so it's number 3 for me.
It would have been an honorable for me. Like that was like my second last cut, to be honest with you, Rich. So, my number 3 is one that Brian had earlier, and it's Edward Delacroix's death scene in The Green Mile, man.
Yeah.
That Percy is just the ultimate bastard of a guard, man.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Not wetting that sponge to let this guy fry. He's going to fry anyway, but
not like that.
Fry. This guy fried, man. It's just a vicious death when you get down to it, man. Obviously, you're getting the chair, but this is the chair times whatever.
Right.
That's a vicious death, man.
There were literally people throwing up in the gallery there watching that.
Oh, yeah.
And I can imagine the smell and everything. Oh.
That's my number 3.
Number 3.
All right. My number 3 is from The Omen. But this time I have David Warner's character who plays Keith Jennings, the photographer. Oh man, just that scene where he's standing there and that truck is backing up and you're starting to put it all together because you kind of remember what's in the back of that truck, and that sheet of glass comes and it decapitates him and you can see the head rolling over top of the glass like, you know, like some type of bowling ball gone astray. And it was just, I said, man, that's horrifying. That has got to be horrifying to see that coming and realize
just awful, man.
You're just done. You're done. So.
Yeah, that's an all-timer. My number 2 has been mentioned, and it is Robert Shaw in Jaws getting eaten alive by the shark. Number 2. I mean, I only have one that tops it, but that's as graphic as it gets. And they build up the camaraderie with the 3 guys, whatever there is, and not long after he's getting chomped, and it just Spielberg,
you're helpless
Spielberg for being such a family-oriented director in parts of his life and fantasy, and this he can lay on the graphic stuff when he wants to and show you horrible things that you don't want to see. And this is a classic example of that. Even the girl in the beginning getting taken under in Jaws is pretty horrific, but this is tops it all. Robert Shaw, what a way to go.
My number 2 is one that you had earlier, Rich. I got American History X, man. Wow. That curb stomping scene is so vicious. It's cold. It's everything disgusting about how racist of an ass this guy was.
Right.
And everything else that it was in the movie. And Norton's a fantastic actor, man. But that scene is just hauntingly awful to watch, man. It's cringe. That's cringeworthy right there, man.
Right there, yeah.
That's my number 2, man. But it stands out. I don't want to watch that scene again. Like that kind of stuff.
Right. Great one.
My number 2, we're going to have our third trifecta here. I've got Robert Shaw from Jaws, 1975. I just wrote down, I said, the hardened shark hunter finally faces the creature that he's been kind of, subconsciously taunting really this entire time. And as the orca's sinking, he's dragged into the great white's jaws. His body's kind of thrashing, and it's just like you can see like a little bit of chomping that's going on, and his blood spurting everywhere as he kind of disappears into the shark's mouth. It's terrifying and unforgettable, and oddly enough, almost prophetic in a way, because he just got through telling the horrific story of all the other people aboard the ship that he was on getting eaten by sharks, and how fortunate he was to escape, only to end up right back in the shark mouth, so to speak. Right. So
ironic shit. Yeah, that was brutal. My number 1 is this is our 4th trifecta, believe it or not.
Look at that.
Electric Chair in the Green Mile. Percy, baby.
Oh, nice.
That sponge. I mean, they set you up beautifully with, the sponge is the way to go. Wet the sponge, there's the bucket, and this guy sabotages the whole thing. And you guys described perfectly what the result was. So I can't think of a worse way to go for me than literally frying, burning to death, and sparks coming out every orifice in front of people. You know what I mean?
And there still be a pulse, and where you have to roll on 2 again. You have to finish him off.
Right, you have to.
You have to. It's
anybody out there that hasn't seen The Green Mile, check it out. It's an all-time classic, not just for this scene, but it's a well-made movie and great character. It's a fantastic movie. All right, Doc. Number 1.
I mean, obviously, we agree. That's not the way you want to go. Obviously.
No.
But I don't know. I'll tell you mine, and then you guys tell me. This is not the way I want to go either. So, mine's from The Thing. Carpenter's classic on the remake. With this thing invading they're at the camps, the site up in the Arctic there. And they're trying to find out who's the thing, not do the thing, and they're doing the test, find out which blood reacts to it. Kurt Russell's character, and everyone's tied down in the chair, and Palmer reacts when he's tied down, and basically his head explodes while he's already there. Goes flying up, breaks out of the chains, goes flying up, lands back down, and he just bites in and rips Max's head and starts eating his head as the thing.
Oh,
That's my
Crazy.
number one death in movies, man. There's some good ones on the list across the board. This one just stands out as, that's definitely not the way I want to go.
no, not at all.
And finally, my number one, we now have 5 trifectas.
Whoa.
I've got John Hurt's Kane's character from Alien
Alien.
at number 1. Mostly because the first time I saw it, I thought everything was fine. I said, oh, great. The thing let him go, right? This thing is just like, maybe he's looking for a way to get on the ship, no big deal. And then like, his body starts to convulse and it's just a horrific way to go. It is just to have something like burst outside of your body. And then you're probably alive long enough to watch it like crawl away. And realizing that you're done for. You're completely done for at that point. So and the reaction of his friends went from all this joyous laughter and they're eating and having a good time to everybody's just bolting for a door. That's crazy.
That's it.
So, that's it. Alien for me.
That's amazing that we each had 10 and 5 of them landed on everybody's list.
Yeah.
It's hard to do because we didn't confer or,
No.
But anything like this was pretty open, man.
We kind of have different tastes especially when it comes to these types of movies. I think we have different tastes, and
we have a lot of
the classics are the classics.
Right. It's hard to beat those 5. They're on all of our lists for a reason. They're the most effective, probably, and then the other ones are sprinkled throughout that affect us personally. But just a fun one. So anybody out there that has some ones that we didn't mention, I'd love to hear it.
Sure.
Halloween season, you got to go with the flow a little bit. Dark stuff, spooky stuff, evil stuff, whatever way your take is. And this is film. We're all film fans. So give us a few that are, one of your most horrifying or gruesome or ways to go. I mean, we all think about death, or at least some of us do, and just want to go in our sleep. We don't want to go any of the ways we mentioned here tonight. This is brutal stuff.
Pretty much. That's it.
Pretty much.
Anyway, happy Halloween to all. Thanks to Brian and Doc for doing this one with me. And leave some comments below and subscribe to Brian's channel, Massey's Main Entertainment. We'll be back next time with a different video. Thank you so much. Bye.